Spoken like a true Democrat who knows how to step on his own dick, in this case, the dick being the Democratic Party. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. You don't tell us where you'd be if he were innocent, you stupid fucktard. You just lost any respect that an honest voter would have for you. And this is from one of my friends. On Friday, April 10th, the San Francisco Chronicle ran a story that detailed accusations of sexual assault by Congressman Eric Swalwell, who was emerging as the Democratic frontrunner for governor of California. Later that day, I released a public statement calling on Swalwell to resign from Congress and drop out of the governor's race if the allegations were true. And boy, did I get some interesting feedback. Now, it's one thing for MAGA idiots from across the country to say horrible things about me. I don't care, and frankly, I find it amusing. What is revealing is that Democrats, especially some in this district, were quick to say my statement was premature and call my statement into question. By Sunday, April 12th, the fallout of the scandal was complete. Several members of Swalwell's staff had resigned, he lost endorsements, and many prominent Democrats were calling on him to suspend his campaign for governor, which he did. On Tuesday, April 14th, Swalwell resigned from Congress, and that same day, another woman came forward publicly and accused him of drugging and raping her. Between the time the story broke on Friday and his resignation on Tuesday, I was the only candidate in District 48 that released a public statement condemning Swalwell's behavior and calling on him to resign. Except for one. The candidate who was endorsed by Eric Swalwell rejected his endorsement and called on Swalwell to drop out of the governor's race. With all that being said, I still have questions to answer about this story. Don't you find the timing of the story to be suspicious? This is not the first political scandal that emerged weeks before an election, and it won't be the last. What about Trump? What about him? He was convicted of 34 felonies, found liable in a civil suit for defaming a woman that he was credibly accused of raping. He stole classified documents, and he tried to overthrow our government, and he got reelected anyway. So you can bitch and moan all you want about impeachment or the 25th Amendment, but the fact is Republicans are not going to throw him overboard. So please stop complaining about it and vote for Democrats in 2026. What about Al Franken? I find it hilarious that Al Franken has suddenly become the liberal martyr for overreaction. And if you want to complain about overreacting to Al Franken's accusations, fine. But Al Franken was accused of far less behavior than Eric Swalwell was accused of, so please don't equate the two. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? Yeah, in a court of law, absolutely. But in the court of public opinion, I can't control that. And I don't know what else to say other than that's the way the world works. Why put out a statement? I know victims of sexual abuse and sexual assault, women and men. I know their stories, and I know from their accounts what it was like to not be believed. So I felt a sense of responsibility for them and a sense of responsibility as a candidate in District 48 to come forward and condemn Swalwell's behavior and call on him to resign and say that I believe the victims. When did we stop believing journalists? This is a much more existential question, but I know the modern media landscape has changed in the last 25 years with the internet and 24-hour cable news shows and social media. And I get it that information is coming at us fast and furious. And I realize that Donald Trump and the Republicans have poisoned the water so much that we sometimes don't know what is true and that we have to check. But that's what the journalism is for. The story was not reported on TikTok or on a blog. It It was reported by the San Francisco Chronicle. I would argue one of the 10 most storied journalistic institutions in this country. When the reporters put out this story, they have fact checkers, they have editors, and they have lawyers going over every detail to make sure what they have is factual and that it is ready to print. And when the journalists, like the ones that reported this story in the San Francisco Chronicle, have this story and they put it out, I'm inclined to believe the journalists. And that's why I put out a statement, because I believe the victims and I believe the journalists when they report on this. Keep your eyes open.